So welcome to Resume Shakeup. What I'd like to talk about is the reason that you've came to watch this webinar with me tonight is because you probably want to find out how to put your resume on steroids, which is a good thing. You want to beat that secret software that's out there, guys, that's eliminating up to 90% of job applications. Hey, Bron, how you going? I can see you've just joined there. Well done. Okay, so guys, you've found the chat box, which is fantastic. So that's how we communicate. So at the end of the day, you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So if you need to talk to me or anything, or talk amongst yourselves, if you like, in the chat box, that's the great, that's the forum for you to do that. So a little bit later on, towards the end of the webinar tonight, I'm happy to stay on and answer some questions. So I don't want you all jumping in that chat box, typing in question after question right now, because I'm going to allow some time at the end to answer some of those questions for you. So I'll answer as many as I possibly can. It's a bit hard when there's a lot of people on, when it depends on how many people are on and how many questions I get, but I'll endeavor to answer as many of them as I possibly can at the end of the webinar. So please save all your questions till later. So chances are, while I'm doing this webinar tonight, I may already answer some of those questions through the presentation. So save all those questions up, and right at the very end, you can jump in that chat box and you can put all your questions in and we can sit and have a chat and do some Q&As, all right? Sound good? Hey, Mandy just joined us, and so is Leanne. Hi, Leanne, how you going? Okay, guys, I know your time's precious, and I want to get straight into this because I have got so much to share with you and I'm excited about it. So let's go. So my promise to you tonight is I'm going to show you exactly how to apply for jobs and actually get invited to the job interview. Wouldn't that be lovely? I'm also going to show you why you've been getting no response. So if you've been sending out your job applications, your resumes, and you're not hearing back from anyone, whoa, I'm glad you're here, because I'm going to show you why that's probably happening to you. And the way I see it is this: if we can work out why it's happening to you, well, we can work out a solution, can't we? Good. I'm also going to talk to you about how you can write your application. And seriously, even if you can't write and you hate talking yourself up on your resume, my little trick I'm going to show you is easy as to do. We're also going to talk a little bit about some job interview questions, because, you know, once you get the actual to the point where they answer your resume and bite you in for a job interview, then you've got to answer those tricky resume questions, my friends. So I'm going to help you with that too. So, hey, JMCC has just said hi in the chat box. So hi, JMCC. I'll just call you JM. Is that all right? Too many letters otherwise. Good show. So later on tonight, guys, I'm also going to introduce you to something I'm super duper proud of, which is called my Work for Life training course. So we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about it later, because I'm going to show you some strategies that you can do tonight and use when you're making changes to your resume. But if you'd like to work with me and get my personal help, well, I'm going to make you a special offer on that later on tonight, so you can get excited. So if you stay until the end of this webinar tonight, pardon me, I would like to give you a free thank you gift. I love giving out freebies. So my thank you gift to you tonight is what I call my blueprint. Guys, this is over 100 action words. So action words are good, strong words that help you build sentences, okay? So I'm happy to give you this as a free gift to say thank you for joining me here on my webinar. Pretty cool, hey? You can get those words and you can sprinkle them throughout all of your applications. So your resume, your cover letter. You can do it if you're structuring email sentences, all sorts of things. So you'll have this to keep forever and ever, and that's available to everyone that stays till the end of my webinar tonight. That is my gift to you. Lovely. So I do need your attention though, because you've taken the time out of your busy schedule to come on here and watch this webinar. So I don't want you to get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked with Facebook or playing with your phone or whatever. Because if you're a job seeker and you're serious about getting better results, I can promise you this. The next 75 minutes or so, that's roughly how long we go, depends on Q&As and stuff. This Resume Shake-Up webinar beats any help that's out there on the market today. Any help whatsoever. So I don't want you to miss out on it. So who am I? I won't talk too much here. I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Sherry Gillet. I'm a trainer and assessor. I'm a confidence builder. I'm a mentor, and I'm a skills identifier. I worked as a health and safety advisor, and I trained for over 15 years within the Toll Group and the Rio Tinto groups in the health and safety teams. Well, after I left there, I went to a high volume training organisation. So I was that trainer in the classroom teaching adults skills to help them get out there and get a job. And do you know what? It was there that I realised, when I met all these amazing people week after week coming into the classroom to get nationally recognised certificates and to get this training, because they were struggling getting jobs or getting someone to reply to their resume. So that's where I realised it wasn't them. They had amazing skills. I met some people in that classroom that I would have hired them in a heartbeat. They had amazing skills, but they were applying for jobs and nobody was getting back to them. It was then that I realised it wasn't that they didn't have the skills, it was they didn't have a good resume. Their resume was not working for them. So that's how your brand new job was born, which is my business today. And today I believe that I'm the only online real help for job applications that's out there today. I'm talking real help. None of this, read this blog and then try to work it out yourself, or read this post and then don't do this and do that and don't do this and do that and then try to work it out on your own. I'm real help, guys. So I'm glad you're here. And so far, I've helped thousands of job seekers from all over Australia, US, and Canada. So pretty cool stuff. How would your life change? Let me ask you this. How would your life change if you knew how to present yourself as the perfect candidate for the job and actually get invited to the job interview? You know, that's one of the biggest things a lot of people say to me. They say, Sherry, I've sent out 20, 30 applications and I haven't heard from anyone. Well, let me tell you this. If you're sending out your resume, your application, and you're not hearing back from anyone and getting invited to job interviews, your application's not working. You need to change it, because your resume's job is to get you a job interview. That's what its job is. And if it's not doing its job properly, well, I'm glad you're here. Imagine how would your life change if you never had to worry again about changing jobs, because at the end of the day, once you've learned this system, it will work for you every single solitary time you need it for the rest of your career life. It's as simple as that. And people say to me, for the rest of my career life, well, how many jobs do you think I'm going to need? Well, that's a big question, isn't it? How many jobs do you think you're going to need? Think about whatever age you are now, and then think about this. How many jobs do you think you're going to have between now and when you retire? That's how many times you're going to need a resume. Because back in the old days, people used to stay in jobs for 20 years, 30 years and things like that. Do you really think that that's possible for you now, today? Because the statistics out there saying it's not. They're saying the maximum time is 2 years and 3 months before something happens and you either get made redundant or the company do cutbacks or whatever, before you have to move on and look for another job again. Whether you get bored or whatever. 2 years and 3 months in a full-time job is the statistics before something happens and you change. So think about that and think about your age. Imagine how your life would change if you finally had something to send out you were super confident with. Wouldn't that be good too? Would that make a difference to you and your family, guys? Because if you're answering and nodding your head right now, yes, 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 that would make a huge difference. I'm certainly glad you're here, because that, my friends, is what I'm all about. Helping you make that difference and keep moving forward in your life. I think we all deserve that. So what we're going to cover today, secret number 1 is all about this this system out there called an ATS. It's an applicant tracking system. This is a database sorting system, people, that are used by 80% of companies are using this thing because they simply can't keep up with the amount of people that are applying for jobs. So imagine being a company and receiving 200 or 300 or 400 job applications. They can't keep up with sorting them and going through them. It's near impossible. So there's this database system out there called an ATS, and I'm going to share with you what that thing does and how it affects you in a minute. Secret number 2 is going to be all about job interview questions. So I'm going to give you some amazing tips there on how you can strategically answer those questions and get great responses. And secret number 3, oh, this one here. Oh, I get very excited when I talk about this one because I believe you only need one resume for the rest of your working life, okay? One resume. And I've got a very good reason why. So get excited about that one and I'll tell you that reason. So let's get straight into number 1. How easy it is to write a summary story that hits the key words and story sells your skills. Now, that is the big thing I'm going to talk about tonight. Story selling your skills. And that instantly grabs that reader's attention. Most job seekers think the best way to write a resume is to copy your friends or even worse, download one of those dreadful templates off the internet that have been around for 20 or 30 years. Let me tell you guys, resumes have completely changed from the old way. So if you're still writing it old school, I can tell you now, if you're copying someone else's that's been around for a long time, or you haven't updated yours to the new, today's way to present a resume, you are way behind the 8 ball. And I'm glad you're here because I'll show you how to do it. Today's resume has got to be designed to crack the codes of this beast out there that I was telling you about called an applicant tracking system. Let's have a look at what I mean. I want you to pretend, so I can show you what I mean here. Pretend with me that this is you. So you're sitting on your computer and you're applying for a job. Over here is the HR lady at the company. So when you press apply send, I want to show you what happens at the other end to that application with companies that are using this thing out there called an ATS, an applicant tracking system. This is that database program. Now, let me tell you this. There's not just one database program out there. There's about 300 or different companies that make these ATSs. So they all vary a little bit, okay? But they all operate like this. Watch this. This is you applying for a job online. Apply, send. Over here, this is the HR lady, like I said. Now, when it's time for that HR lady to have a look and bring up some applications to sort through them to find a perfect candidates to bring in to interview. Let's pretend her boss said to her, bring me 10 people in to interview for that admin job or customer service job or whatever, okay? So when you press apply send, I want you to know this. Your application goes straight into that database program. So right at that point, not one single person sees it. It simply sits in that database and spins around with what? The other 100 or 200 applications that have applied for that job, or even more in some cases. So when it's time for that HR lady to bring it up, this is what she does. She opens up the tracking system and she types into a keyword search function. And she types in something like this. Please bring me up the first 20 resumes with these key words in it. Guys, and she chooses the key words herself. And then she presses search. Now that database system will randomly search and look for some applications with those keywords in it that she typed. Are you all sitting there shaking your head right now thinking, you are kidding me? No wonder I haven't been coming up in the searches. Well, then what happens is this. She brings up the first 20 will come up on the screen. And I want you to know this. When they're up on the screen, right at that moment, this is what she does. She will open your resume if you're lucky enough to come up on the screen, and she will only look at this point, she will only look at the very first page of your resume, page number 1, okay? Now, when she's looking at that page and it's up on the screen, the statistics say this: she will not read it. She will not read every word you've got written down there. She will scan that resume with her eyes to see if something grabs her attention. And the stats say she will scan it for approximately 6 seconds. 6 seconds. If something doesn't grab her attention in that first 6 seconds, she simply moves her mouse and clicks delete. And guys, your chances are gone. That's how this ATS works. That is exactly what the HR people do at the other end, how they use this tracking system. 6 seconds is approximately all you've got for something to grab that reader's attention to make her want to read a bit more of your resume. Wow. Hey, wow. You're probably all sitting there shaking your head. Well, would you guys like to know how to get through this ATS funnel? How to get through this so you do come up in all the searches? Keywords, my friends, they are your only way in. Don't let anybody tell you anything else, because that is the only way through this funnel with this ATS systems. Now, like I said before, there's over 300 different companies that make these tracking systems. So they all got little things that work differently. No two of them are exactly the same. But I can tell you this, one thing they all have in common, every single one of them, is they all work under the keyword search function. Every single one of them. So keywords are your only way in to come up and be recognized in this system. Now you're probably saying, that is fantastic, Sherry, but how do you find the keywords? And you're probably saying, and even if I did find them, Sherry, where do I put them in my application? Well, if that's the questions you're asking, they're very good questions. Do you want to know the answer to them? Would that help you if I told you the answer to them? While I have a drink, guys, because I'm getting excited, show me some love. Get in that chat box and tell me if you want to know. Tell me if you think this information is really good to know for getting out there applying for jobs today and fixing up your resume. I want to feel some love in there, because the more you give me, the more I'm going to give back to you. Let me have a drink. I talk so much, I need to have lots of drink breaks. Look at that chat box. It's going crazy. Ah, that's better. I've got some nice mineral water. Look at this chat box. Absolutely yes. Yes, yes, yes. Give it up. Good on you, John. Give it up. Tell me more, says Dan. Nice work. This would be great to know, Judy. I agree. Absolutely, it's great to know. And you know what? So many people don't know about this. Well, if you don't know about this, how on earth are you supposed to be applying for all these jobs out there when you don't have this information? So that's why I decided to do these webinars, so I could tell you this information. Good job, everyone. Fantastic. Good on you, JM, and Malcolm as well. Good. Here we go. I want you to think about this. So stay with me and it'll all make sense. Imagine now, I know we've got men on there as well as ladies, but I want you all to put a HR lady hat on. Pretend you're HR. HR people probably wrote the ad in the first place, right? You with me? Because that's HR's job. The boss would have said, stick an ad in seek.com and get us another admin person, or whatever they said, okay? Right, you with me? So HR people out there, if you needed to do a keyword search, where do you think you're going to get the words from to search? Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Because if you are absolutely correct. They are all in the job ad. Every single HR person that I interviewed when I was doing all my research, and I interviewed dozens of them, they all said they select the keywords straight out of that job ad. Perfect. Now we know that information. Well, why don't we pick out all those keywords out of that job ad and let's sprinkle them through our resumes? Makes sense, doesn't it? Let's sprinkle the exact words out of that ad and put them in your resume. That way you got a greater chance of coming up in the searches. So now you're probably saying, okay, Sherry, that's all good. Wow, that's great. But how do you know which ones are the keywords, girl? Because seriously, have you ever looked at a job ad? Some of them have got a lot of words in them. And even if I did know which ones were the keywords, how would I know how to use them? Because it's one thing knowing where to find the keywords, but guys, you got to know how to use the keywords and where to place them to get best readers impact. So scan readers impact. You know what I mean? So pay attention, because I'm going to show you how to do that real soon. Damien, I just want to tell you this, because Damien learnt how to find the keywords, but he also learnt how to use the keywords. Damien's a Boilermaker by trade. When I met Damien, I didn't even know what a Boilermaker was. Never had a clue. First time I'd ever heard the word. I had no idea. It doesn't matter, guys, what industry you're in. It doesn't matter what level you are. This strategy works for everybody. Damien learnt how to find the keywords, and then he learnt where to place them in his applications, and this has been the best thing he ever did. Prior to this, Damien was applying for Boilermaker positions, and it was so bad that he wasn't getting any response. He had to take up a job driving a school bus in between, trying to get back into Boilermaking to support his family. Now Damien loves driving the school bus, but he also gets plenty of contract work when it comes to doing his trade as well. I knew as soon as they met Damien, they'd hire him because he's awesome and he's really skilled. He just needed that opportunity to get those job interviews, and his new resume has done that for him now time and time again. Guys, like I said, it does not matter whether you're logistics, project management, entry level, a cleaner, a nurse, admin, mining, redundant, IT. I don't care if you're a CEO. It does not matter what level or what job you're going for. This strategy works. Every one of these people, and I could have put hundreds more up there, all got job interviews after they learned how to find the keywords and learned how to use them for best reader impact. Okay? So look at that. So don't sit there and think, oh, this isn't for me. It wouldn't work for my industry, because I'm telling you now, it will. It'll work for every single industry out there. I don't even have to know about the industry. All you need is the job ad, and you can work with that, and you can design your resume to suit that particular ad, and you will get called in for a job interview. I'm not silly enough to think every single job you apply for, you're going to get a job interview. That'd be ridiculous. At the end of the day, you've got to increase your chances. So, you might send out 5 job applications. You'd want to get at least 1 or 2 interviews out of that, wouldn't you? But these days, people are sending out 20 applications and they're getting 1 interview, maybe, out of that. Well, that doesn't cut it with me. That's torture. So you've got to get this right. Resume Shake-Up secret number 2 is all about how to prepare for those nerve-wracking job interview questions. Most job seekers don't prepare for the interview. They just wing it. Preparation is the key for success, my friends, and for your nerves as well. So how to nail those job interview questions. I'm going to teach you how to nail a couple of questions by telling you what they're really trying to find out when they ask that question, and what your best responses can be to some simple questions. Let me show you what I mean. It is a fact that 9 out of 10 people will leave this most important conversation of their life to chance. Now you're probably sitting there saying, come on, Sherry, the most important conversation of my life? Seriously? It's only a job interview. Well, let me tell you this. I believe it is. Because a job interview, guys, determines your future in your career. It also determines your financial security. It also, and you know, when we've got financial strain and all that sort of stuff in our family life, we get stressed and our health condition gets poor. And depression sets in, all sorts of things dreadful things can happen. So take this conversation as a really one of the most important conversations that you're ever going to have. So don't wing it. This will help you in your future. It is important. So don't wing it. Get prepared. There's 3 top reasons why people stuff up at job interviews. Has anyone ever been for one of those interviews where you finish the interview, you come down to the car later or whatever, and you go, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I knew what I wanted to say, but I just couldn't get the word out at the time. Well, that's one of the top reasons people don't get the jobs. Believe it or not. You went in unprepared. If you go into an interview unprepared, you're going to get fidgety. You're not going to sit still. You're going to get nervous. You might and ah when you might have long pauses between answering questions. The person that's interviewing you can see all that. And their very first thought is, this guy's unprepared. You know, what does that say about them as a worker? They didn't even prepare to come for the job interview. How are they going to carry this workload or whatever it is? And of course, nerves. And seriously, nerves are there. We all got them. I don't think anyone's ever gone for a job interview where they weren't nervous. But let me tell you something. You prepare for a job interview and your nerves go zip all the way down. So you won't be as nervous at all when you prepare. So I'm going to set up a scenario now to explain this one to you. Tell me about yourself is probably one of the most common questions that you'll get asked at a job interview. It's also probably one of the first questions they'll ask you when you sit down and it begins. So for me to explain this to you, I want you to pretend with me that there's 10 people going for a job right now and I'm one of them. So there's 9 people lined up outside and they're all coming in after me for this job interview. Let's just pretend that for this scene. Let's just pick an easy job, customer service, retail, in a dress shop or something simple like that, okay? When the interviewee brings you in and they ask you this question, I can tell you right now, I already reckon I know what at least 8 of those people outside are going to say when they ask this question. They're going to say something like this. They're going to say, so Sherry, tell me about yourself. And they're going to say, well, I'm married. I've got 1 daughter. I like to go camping on the weekends. We enjoy fishing. We enjoy swimming. I'd love to go to Tannum Sands one day to see Lyle's Beach because he was making me jealous before. So whatever. They're going to talk about themselves personally. You with me? Tell me about yourself. It's so common. You're probably sitting there now saying, I've done that. I've told them a bit about myself personally when they've asked me this. Well, guys, let me tell you this. Everybody answers it like that. Heaps and heaps and heaps of people. It is the most common way to answer it. But I don't want you to answer it like that. I want you to nail this interview. So this is your chance to answer it differently to everybody else. This is your chance to do a sales pitch, guys. Your opportunity to talk about yourself as a professional. So forget personal. Now, here's a little bit of tough love, okay? Right at this moment in this job interview, that person that's interviewing you, they actually don't care about you personally. The only thing on their agenda right now is, has this person got the skills that we're looking for to do this job? Has this person got what it takes to work in this position. That's their only agenda. Yes, they'll want to know you personally later. If they hire you and offer you the job, they'll want to know what you do on weekends and how many kids you got and everything like that. But right now in this room, not a time to talk about personal. Let's make it your sales pitch. What I want you to do is make sure your sales pitch is about your work, nothing personal, and make it about your experience that you've had that's relevant to the job that you're interviewing for. So if I'm going for a customer service job in a dress shop in retail, I'm going to design my little sales pitch at home before I go to the interview, and I'm going to tell them something a little bit about where I've provided great customer service in a previous role that I've done. Or I'm going to tell them a little story about a particular customer that I went the extra mile for and I got recognised from the management for it, or something along those lines. So obviously if they're advertising for customer service in retail, they want someone with amazing customer service skills. So make my pitch around that. You with me? All those other suckers out there, they're going to sit there and talk about fishing and camping and going to Tannum Sands to visit Lyle. So at the end of the day, this is your opportunity. You've only answered one question so far and you are absolutely nailing it. Now, the second question that I'm going to share with you tonight is what is your weakness? Now, this question stinks. Seriously, they should have delete this question from job interviews altogether. So what is your weakness? What is your weakest strength, weakness or skill and all this sort of stuff? They ask this question and it's dreadful. They put people on the spot. But nevertheless, I can't change that. They ask it and heaps of people still ask it. So I don't want you to panic. I'm going to show you a really cool way to answer it. I want you to choose a work-related weakness. I want you to think of a skill that's a work-related skill that's got nothing to do with me being a perfect retail customer service person, okay? So go back to the job ad and pick a weakness out of there. Pick a skill that's got nothing to do with that job. And then I want you to do this. Actually, before I show you what to do you know what the most common answer is when they get asked that question in a job interview? People get nervous to answer this question. So they decide, I'll try to be a bit funny, bring a bit of humour into the job interview. So when they say, what is your weakness? They laugh it off and answer it by saying, oh, chocolate's my weakness or something like that. Let me tell you this. That person that's interviewing you has heard that 7 million times. It is so common that people pick chocolate or potato chips or whatever, okay? So don't answer it like that. This is what you're going to do. You're going to prepare your answer at home before you go. So when they surprise you with that question, you're ready to go. And you're going to answer it like this. This is my weakness, blah, blah, blah. So pick a skill. And then you're going to finish that sentence with, and this is what I'm doing about it. If you do that, you're going to show them you've got self-awareness, you've identified a weak area, and you're working towards getting stronger in that area. Guys, that speaks volumes about you and your work ethic and you as a person. That speaks volumes. So when I'm saying this is what I'm doing about it, don't ravel on and on and on. Don't answer this question like for 1 or 2 minutes or anything. I want you to just make this short and sweet. Like, this is a shocking question, but I'm just going to answer it confidently and boom, answer it and then stop talking. So this is my weakness. And at the moment, I'm currently following a particular blog, or at the moment, I've joined an online Facebook group that is helping me overcome this weakness, or at the moment, I'm currently reading so-and-so's book, blah, 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 how to overcome your weakness, or something simple. You don't have to be enrolled in some major course to try to get over it. Just show that you're doing something, okay? All those other guys outside, they're going fishing and camping, and their weakness is chocolate. Look how you've just answered 2 of those questions. You are nailing it. You are nailing it. Guys, there's actually 10 top questions that you will more than likely get asked in a job interview. You need to learn how to answer all of these questions so you can really, really shine in that room. I teach people how to answer all of these questions, and I would love to teach you right now, right this very second. But seriously, I wouldn't be able to talk, and we'd have to have a 3-hour webinar to do that. But they're the sorts of tricks that you need to learn, some strategies on how to answer those questions. Resume Shake-Up secret number 3 is all about how you can spend under 10 minutes. This is the one I get super excited about. Oh, don't be silly, Sherry. Look, seriously, I get super excited about all of it. Have you ever met anyone that loves resumes as much as I do? Usually they're the boring thing. But I love being able to teach people how to present themselves so you can keep moving on in your future, because it sucks being out of work and applying for jobs. But anyway, let's get into this one. It's how you can spend under 10 minutes making quick little changes to your resume to suit the next job that you want to apply for. So what's happening here is this. I've applied for that retail job in customer service. So I pressed apply, send, and it's gone, right? So now I've found another job I want to apply for. So now I want to tweak my resume to match this job. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So one resume, you can't send the same resume out all the time for every single job. You have to make a little tweaks in there that'll take you under 10 minutes. When I show you how to do it, it'll take you under 10 minutes to design every application perfectly for the next job you're applying for, and the next one, and the next one, etc. Most job seekers think that you need several different resumes. This is my bugbear. Serious. How many people have said to me, oh, Sherry, I've got 3 different resumes. One when I'm applying for retail jobs, one when I'm applying for admin jobs, one when I'm applying for hospitality jobs or whatever. Okay? That is crap. You don't need to do that. I want you to have one resume for the rest of your working life, and I'm going to tell you why. I want you to imagine right now the front section of your resume. The front section, so that's your summary story where you list all your qualifications, your personal strengths, things like that, right? The front section. Guys, today's resume, that front section must be your career story. Your career story shown in the front section. Now, the back section of your resume, so that's where you list all your work history. I worked at Toll from this year to this year, and I worked at Rio Tinto from this year to this year, whatever, right? That section, I want you to think of that section as your evidence that your story is true. So the front section of your resume is your career story, and the back section of your resume is the proof that your story is true. It backs up your story. So you're providing evidence. And that is the new way to think about your resume today. I don't care if your entire work history, everything in that back section is retail. Imagine you worked in retail all your life. And now you think, I want to apply for a job in admin, or I want to apply for a job in hospitality. You can apply for a job in any industry with that resume, as long as you do it in this system. Because what we're doing is we're going to transfer your skills over to be perfect for hospitality or perfect for administration. If you've got the skills to transfer to another job, you can get the job. You don't have to have the experience to transfer over. You have to have the skills, right? So stay with me on that, because they will bring you in for a job interview if you show that you've got the skills that they're looking for, regardless of where you've worked before. Sure, it's important where you've worked before when you're applying for the same industries and things like that, I worked at Toll or whatever, but no one's going to hire me and say, oh, we better hire that girl because she worked at Rio Tinto. That's not why they would hire me. They would only hire me or bring me in for an interview if I had the skills that they were looking for. So these people that are splitting up their skills across 3 different resumes, you're selling yourself short. We need all of your skills on one piece of paper, on one resume, because we need them as the evidence that you're a perfect candidate for that job, whatever job you want to apply for. Does that make sense? So one resume for the rest of your working life. Let's keep all those skills there and make them shine on that piece of paper. We'll transfer them over in the front section to sell you as a perfect candidate. We'll sell your skills as a perfect candidate. Nice. So, making small changes every time. I want you to imagine now we've got this perfect resume built. It's all constructed, it's built, it's beautiful. It's a great representation of all of your skills. All your skills are here. They're lovely. Now I want to apply for another job. So here's the new job I found on Seek that I want to apply for. Here it is here. This is all you've got to do. Don't forget, I already had a summary story made on my resume that was beautiful and ready for that retail job I applied for. Now this company here is asking for this and this and this and this. So I'm just going to go over to my summary story section and I'm just going to tweak a few words in there to match the next job to make sure I'm nailing the possible keywords. So they're asking for this. So I've written this. I'll just change it to that. Oh, look, they're asking for this. Oh, I've said that I've got this. I'll just change that word to match that next job. Tweak, tweak, tweak. Change the words. Send straight from the job ad. You don't even have to invent the words. They're already there for you in the job ads. So you go in, you tweak a few of those words, and then you press apply, send. Guys, I say that you can do this in under 10 minutes. Seriously, once you learn how to do it and your resume is all built beautifully, you can do it in under 5. I was just saying 10 to make it sound, give you extra time if you needed it. But you can do this in under 5 minutes. It is so easy. Nothing else on your resume ever changes. So you can't add more work history. You can't add anything to the back once you've built it correctly in the first place. So once it's done and it's done correctly, it's finished. All you need to do is tweak this little section in the front every time you need to apply for a job. Let me ask you guys a question. Are you enjoying this webinar so far? Check out what we've covered. We've covered today's resume's got to crack this ATS, applicant tracking system. Now you know what that beast does out there. You can now work on your system to beat that ATS system with the keywords and crack those codes. How to answer those job interview questions. There was a couple of tricky ones there. There is 10 of them that you need to learn, but now you've got the idea on how to learn it. And definitely one resume for the rest of your working life. Let's keep all your skills together. They're precious. That's what they're looking for, is skills. Don't split them up over many different resumes. Guys, who wants to take this to the next level? Get in that chat box and tell me if you're enjoying it so far. Well, I have another drink because I'm getting very thirsty. And I'll have a look at that chat box in a sec then. I could see some people were typing things in that chat box. I'll go and have a look at it in a minute. Okie dokes. Oh, wow. Look at this. The chat box is going crazy. I'm so ready. I'm enjoying it very much. Nice work. Same here. Me too. I'm ready. Good on you guys. Gee, that's nice. You know, I put a lot of effort into this and it's so lovely to hear how much you're enjoying it. So thrilled to now know the key words. Fantastic, JM. It is So important. So important. It is. I'm with you. Good. Looks like you guys have been having a good old chat in that chat box amongst yourselves too. This is great. Fantastic. That's what I want to hear. I'm so glad that you registered and you came along tonight. I agree too, Amy. This is needed badly. Lots of people need this kind of help. And, you know, when I was trying to help my students in the class, that was one thing that I found when I was doing my research was there is no help for anybody out there. Not proper help. You know, there's all this stuff. You can read blogs and you can read things on different pages, and career pages give you advice and things like that. But no one's giving you real help. That's just like read this article and then try to work it out yourself. And that's what frustrated me. And, you know, I originally started this. Oh, Kat, I agree with you so much. I would love to get into departments where I can stand there and train people, but knocking on those doors, I've got no idea how to get in there. That's the tricky bit. But I definitely agree with you. I'd love to see, you know, my type of training set up in high schools and everywhere. So that's the plan, the future plan. So you don't get replies from resumes, and there's so many people out there that don't get replies from resumes. So, and that's not what's supposed to happen. I know there's a lot of people out there looking for a job, and yes, you've just got to do what you can to greatly increase your chances. Like I said before, you're not going to send out 20 resumes and get one job interview. I mean, wow, that's terrible. But that's what's happening out there today, if you're lucky. And that stinks. So anyway, let's keep moving. Who wants to take things to the next level? I want to show you what I do. I want to show you what I do with my Work for Life training because I am super proud of it. So what I did was this. I realized that there was nobody out there helping people. Now, I thought I could run classes and I could do this and I could stand in front of a group and how will I do this? And then I realized people everywhere need this help. It's not just people in my suburb that needs the help. People from all around the globe need help. So what I did was this. I developed an online training course. And the way I did it was this. I did the presentation and I talk about the summary section. And I videoed myself in the corner of every page talking to you exactly like I'm talking to you now. And I go like this. Now, the summary section, this is what the message we need to send. This is how you write a summary story by story selling your skills. And I explain to you what kind of message we need to give to the reader, how you strategically can place the key words in this section. And I give you examples and I give you paragraphs that you can simply copy and paste, and I teach you how to write that section. Now, I also send you my resume template, which has been, by the way, strategically designed to place the right information in the right locations for best reader impact. But not only that, guys, the template is super important because those ATS machines out there, those database programs, they are resume template sensitive. So a lot of templates, even if they've got all the keywords, won't even get through because they don't recognize things like borders around the outsides, shading down one side, all that sort of stuff. They will not even recognize that kind of format. They don't recognize certain colors on resumes, all sorts of things. So you've got to be really careful with your template, okay? So I send you my strategic template and then I teach you how to write the summary section. And then I say this, pause my video now, because this is online video training that you can pause and play and pause and play. And I say, pause my video now, jump over into your template that I sent you and write your summary story. Just write that bit, nothing else. And then come back to my video, press play again and I'm going to teach you how to write the next bit. And together we go right through and I help you write your entire resume from top to toe, right down to your referees. And believe me, there is strategic way to place so much information. Even when you're listing your work history, it's not the way you think it is. It's not how they used to list work history. It's all changed to place the right information in the right spot. I'll tell you this, no one ever is probably going to read your resume in its entirety. Very few resumes ever get read in their entirety. They will, however, scan read your resumes, okay? So when someone's scan reading, we want all the relevant information that we need them to know to jump out at them on that page. And the only way to do that is to place the information in the right locations, okay? So this is how my Work for Life training course works. So it's basically training that you can do at home. And you know what? It's easy to use, and I'm with you every step of the way. Starting your new resume is a snap. I give you summary stories that you can customize with your skills and your profession. So no expert writers required, guys. I've done all that work for you. Once completed, you can dramatically increase your chances of getting called in for a job interview. And that's what your resume should do. And we're unveiling my little Work for Life picture there. Isn't that gorgeous? Work for Life, guys. There's never, ever been a tool like Work for Life before. And it's built to harness the power of your skills, because that's what companies want. They will only bring you in for a job interview if they believe that you've got the skills to do the job that they want done. It's as simple as that. That's the only reason they're going to give you a job as well. No one's going to give you a job because, oh, I'll give this girl a job because I feel sorry for her, or I'll give this lady a job because of whatever. At the end of the day, the only reason they're going to offer you a job is because you've got the skills that they need. The only reason they're going to bring you in for a job interview is if they can see instantly, under 6 seconds, that you've got the skills that they need. That's bottom line. So Work for Life helps you present yourself as the perfect candidate for that job. It beats any help on the market today, and that's why hundreds of people have learned, created, and succeeded with Work for Life. Heck, guys, I even show you how to turn your job applications into a face-to-face job interview by story selling your skills. Remember I talked about this before? This is the good bit. Well, it's all good, isn't it? But I love this bit too. Story selling your skills, because this, my friends, is what's going to connect you with the reader. Let me show you what I mean. Employment objective. If anyone's got an objective on their resume right now, if your existing resume right now has got the word objective on it and you've got an objective, get it off, because it's rubbish. It went out years ago. People are sick of seeing it, and I'll tell you why. Objectives tell the reader what you want. And to be quite honest, they don't care what you want. They actually don't care. I know that sounds harsh, doesn't it? I mean it with love, though. They don't care what you want. All they care about is what they want. So when they're reading someone's resume, they don't care whether you want to get better opportunities and climb ladders and all that. They don't even know you yet. Employment objectives, guys, get them off. They went out years ago. So what can you do instead? Well, I'll share that with you in a sec, but have a look at this. This was a lady's objective that I was helping her with a resume. And she said, to gain employment in an aged care environment where I can utilize my existing skills and have the opportunity to gain new knowledge and skills. I'm enthusiastic, motivated, and extremely capable. I look forward to the opportunity of becoming an asset to your organization through my hard work, open, honest, caring. I can tell you now, you know how that lady's going to open this in 6 seconds? She's going to look at it. She wouldn't even get past 2 seconds on this one, and she would press delete. And you know why? Because she's probably opened hundreds of resumes that look exactly like that. That's number one reason. The next reason is this. There is nothing there that makes me want to bring this lady in for a job interview. Hope you're not sitting at home right now and you're all saying, oh my gosh, mine looks something similar to that. You probably are, aren't you? You're probably saying, well, like, mine's not exactly the same, but I have got something similar. Guys, no one is going to bring you in for an interview because you say that you're enthusiastic or motivated or capable. Because you say that you're open and honest and caring. Because you say that you're what? Hardworking and reliable and all that sort of stuff. Those words mean nothing. Get them off this section of your application. The only reason these type of words appear in people's resumes is because they don't know what to write and they think that's what you've got to write because that's what everyone else does. Well, let me tell you this. Gone. It's gone. Please don't write it. If you're not doing yourself any favors. No one is going to invite you in for an interview if you're caring and open and honest. Because at the end of the day, I will decide whether you're caring, open and honest when I interview you. Let's sell your skills by story selling your skills. Okay? I'm going to read you a summary story how we changed this for this lady. You ready? This, my friends, is story selling your skills. I am a first point of contact customer service professional with over 15 years experience with retail customers and aged care customers. I love everything about working with the general public. I really enjoy helping people. I have a genuine focus on providing a great customer experience and have always gone the extra mile for my customers. Thoughtful touches, looking after the small details, treating every customer how I would want to be treated. Under promise and over deliver is exactly how I work. I have a complete understanding of customer service, customer care principles, well-developed interpersonal skills, good computer skills, and a great attitude to my work. Boom, guys, boom. That, my friends, is story selling your skills. That was packed with keywords straight out of the ad for that. That the reader would read that and be engaged with this lady. As a matter of fact, story selling puts the human behind the words. The reader can actually feel your passion. How cool is that? The reader can feel your level of skills by the words you wrote in a little paragraph. The reader can feel your personality through one little paragraph that she's not even going to fully read. She will only scan read it in the first initial 6 seconds. I can tell you, she scan reads that for 6 seconds. She'd only get to 3 and she'd want to read the whole thing. It's as simple as that. And this works every single time. You can take that reader on that actual experience with you. The reader then connects with you as a person instead of words on a piece of paper that everybody else is using. That's what Work for Life training course is all about. It's about teaching you how to story sell your skills. This is real training, guys, that puts you in the driver's seat of your career. Imagine how engaged the reader would be when they could clearly see that you've got the perfect skills for the job. They'd want to invite you to the interview. Imagine the positive effects that would have on you getting job interviews. People are earning money and they're earning a lot of money thanks to Work for Life. You just do it and it works. Work for Life is truly the biggest leap in real help for job seekers that I've seen yet. Anywhere. I give you amazing tools that are dead simple to use so you can create job applications that get you results. And that's what you need it to do. So let's have a look at my offer to you, because I did say to you that anyone that wanted to work with me personally, that I would make you a special offer here tonight on my webinars. So let me tell you what that offer is and how it all works. Okie dokes. So resume training, Work for Life members room. So what I've done is I've created a members room, and inside that members room, so when you become a Work for Life member, we send you a link and all that sort of stuff, and you put your own login in online, and you get access to the Work for Life members room. Now, inside that room is my resume video training that you can watch and learn and have me sitting on your kitchen bench helping you, or on your desk talking to you through how to do this on the screen. You also get my cover letter training, because I'm not just about helping people with just the resume. Let's get you totally job ready. You get my cover letter video training, which is done exactly the same. You also get my professional development plan training. That training is amazing, guys. There's some really cool things in there that is going to help you when plan for your future. You also get my job interview video training. And let me tell you this, inside the job interview training is my secret wow factor. This is what I call my ace up my sleeve. I teach you a little trick in amongst this training in here that you can bring to that job interview to bring an ace out of your sleeve and add a real wow factor in that interview. You will blow that interviewee's mind when they see you do this in that job interview. It is super easy to do, and it's super cool, and it's super professional. I can tell you now, all those other people outside, they'll be doing all sorts of strange answers to those questions, but you'll know all 10 of them, and you'll have your ace up your sleeve as well. Handling rejection. So did you know those 10 people that went for that job interview that I went for? Well, I got the job, by the way, but those other 9, they didn't. So they need to learn how to handle that rejection. So let me tell you this, more people today are actually getting rejected from jobs than people are getting the job, because they interview 10 people, 9 people are going to get rejected. So if that happens to you, you've got to learn how to handle that. And I've got a little trick in there so you can approach that company and get some feedback from that company. I've got an email template and a video training in there that goes for about 30 or so minutes that's going to really give you some great information on what you can do to handle that. And then there's my mindset video training. That's how to keep your head in the game when you're job hunting. So if you're feeling down in the dumps and you need a bit of a pep up, all of my training gives you a pep up, but that mindset one's got a printout sheet, and it's got some great tricks and tips that you can do to help keep your head in the game. But look what else. I'm going to give you all my templates, my ATS friendly and strategically designed resume template, my cover letter, PDP, job interview, rejection template, mindset. All of this is in the members room, and you get access to everything, the whole lot. So total value, if purchasing all of these products separately, $694 worth of products, guys. That's how much it costs to get those trainings separately in total. But everything is in the Work for Life members room, and it happens at your pace. So you can create a resume, build a targeted cover letter, prepare for your job interview, plan your career, understand the benefit from rejection, learn how to stay motivated. Work for Life is your very own personal help, and I am so excited to be sharing this knowledge and my strategies with you. And here's the best news. I'm talking about how affordable Work for Life membership is. Now, it's not just a one-time help, guys. This is a lifetime membership. So you get access to this membership site for the rest of your life. It's a lifetime membership. So every time you need it, it's going to be there. And of course, I update things and put more information in there and put more tools in there all the time. And you get all of the updates constantly. Whenever I update it, you benefit. It's as simple as that. Tonight, guys, with Work for Life, my webinar specials are normally $497, but I'm happy to offer you the entire Work for Life course for $297 tonight here on my webinar. That's my way of saying thanks for coming to my webinar. So one payment of $297 or 3 installments. I've done some installment payments for anyone that needs extra help there as well. So that's the deal. What I'm going to do is jump over to this chat box, and I'm going to place a link in that chat box that will take you straight to the Work for Life membership page, where you can purchase and get access straight away to the Work for Life membership room. It's as simple as that. We've made it as easy as possible. So when you get there, and you get to that page, have a look up the top, because there's two options here. I just want you to make sure you check the option that you're looking for. So one of them is for the one-off payment or for the installment payments. Then simply put your details in, put your credit card details in, and boom, you're in. But guys, it doesn't stop there. I want to give you some bonuses tonight, and they're pretty damn cool bonuses. Bonus number one. So I only offer these bonuses to my webinar guests. So anyone that comes to the webinar gets offered these bonuses. Bonus number one is this. I'm going to give you access to my private Facebook support group. This is a support group for only Work for Life members. Nobody else is allowed in there, just Work for Life members. And I tell you what, they're an amazing bunch of people in there. And we offer each other support all the time. We help each other with tips. We celebrate successes. We encourage and help each other every time something's happening during your job hunting. They're a great group of people. They all came on here just like you onto my webinar, and they've purchased Work for Life. They've succeeded. They've done the training. You've got access to me through here. So if you're stuck on anything, imagine in 6 months' time, or you're going for a job interview or somewhere else, or anything happens in 12 months' time or 2 years' time, you've got access to this group the entire time who'll be there to help you. But not only that, you've got access to me. And I'll be there to support you and help you all the way through as well. So that's bonus number one. Bonus number two is pretty damn exciting. This is an ATS and job ad perfect match check. Now, I can only offer this tonight to the first 20 people that purchase. So that's all I can take is 20 people. So the first 20 that purchase this tonight get this added bonus. And what it is this. Once you've done the resume training, so you go to the membership site, you do your resume training, what I want you to do is send me your completed resume with a job ad that you would like to apply for. And guys, I've got access to a ATS simulator machine thing. So I've got access to an ATS simulator database. So, and I can run your resume and the job ad through this simulated database. I'm trying to think of the right words to how to describe it to you, but I can run it through this database, and I can actually get it checked to see whether your application matches that job interview, and you will get a rating. So the rating comes back like this one here at 77%. Now, 80% is a great match, okay? It also gives you a detailed report to tell you on words that are missing from the difference between the job description and your resume. And it talks about your soft skills, your other keywords. It talks about your hard skills. These are the ones that they're most likely to do the ATS search on. So it tells you in the job description, they mentioned HR 7 times. You've got it 27 times in your resume, which is great. And then it tells you, yes, you've mentioned this once, and it gives you clear instructions on which words are possible keywords that you may need to add those words back into your resume. So guys, that is bonus number 2. And that is for the first 20 people only that purchase this. But bonus number 3 is for everybody. And this one here has just been introduced, and I am super duper proud of it. What I've done is I have built a summary room. Well, I built the information. I got the techie to put it in the room, but we've now got a summary room. Now in here, this is what I did. I've already written summary stories for you, loads of them like this. And what I've done is I've done summary stories so far on administration, customer service, health and safety, mining, accounting, mechanical, blah, 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 blah. There's heaps of them in there. I think there's about 25 or 30 of them in there already, and I'm adding to them all the time. Well, I'm happy to give you full access to that summary room as your bonus for purchasing Work for Life tonight. All you do is go into that summary room and you choose a base summary story that would work for you. So I've already written it all for you, and story sold your skills. All you've got to do is cut and paste that story, put it into your resume, then change the skills where I've got them to match you or that job ad. Change your job title to match your job title. And the rest of the stories are all there. So you can get into these base summary stories and just tweak them to match you, your personal details. Does that make sense? Guys, this summary room is magnificent, and I'm happy to offer this to you as a big bonus for joining me here tonight and joining my Work for Life program. So get in there and find that summary story that suits you. Twig, 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 done. It's as easy as that. So I can't make it any easier for you. And I'm constantly adding to this summary room now all the time. So it doesn't matter what profession you're in, there is a summary story in there for every single profession that's out there. All you got to do is change the name. Where I've written, I am an admin customer service professional, you just write your title or whatever it is. Work for Life bonus number 4 is a guarantee. This is a 100% money back guarantee. If this doesn't help you move forward in applying for jobs and getting those job interviews, it's as simple as that. I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am. Work for Life works for everybody. So let's have a look at this offer again now. Have a look. Everything right there. $794 worth now with all the bonuses. And that doesn't even include half the things that we just talked about. So guys, at the end of the day, nearly $800 worth of products. And tonight I offer it to you for the one lifetime membership for $297. So all the installment payments for those that need that extra help. Okie dokes, I've got something going on too. So fantastic, guys. That link is in the chat box. So if you're having any trouble with that link, just let me know. But either copy it and paste it and put it over, or click on that link and it'll take you straight to that section. So for the last, 60 or however many minutes we've been on, I haven't got time to look at a clock. So we've shared a ton of valuable information with you. This is real stuff, guys, that you can actually implement. Information alone is not going to save you, though. You need to actually do it. Work for Life course is what's going to help you take your job hunting to the next level. Not for this job, for every job you ever need for the rest of your life. I want to show you how it's helped some other people. This is Leanne. Leanne is a beautiful girl, and she came on the webinar just like you. She said, hey guys, I just want to say Sherry's method works if anyone's still sitting on the fence about getting the program. A month after she updated a resume and cover letter, she got a job interview, and within 2 days later she got that job. So, and she said the man that interviewed her told her that the reason he picked her was that her application stood out from everyone else. But the bottom line here is this: Leanne was 5 months unemployed. 5 months unemployed, and she was losing hope before this. She's happily full-time employed now. And the good thing for me is I know that this is going to help Leanne for the rest of her career. Every time she needs to find another job, this will be here to help her. And that's the beauty of Work for Life. Charmaine sent me this just a few weeks back in February. She said, hi, Sherry, your resume template and how you helped me with my wording really rocks. I had 3 interviews and handled them like a professional thanks to your preparing for interviews training she was talking about. Here's hoping I'm successful. She said, even if I'm not, I'm confident it won't be long now, and she can't thank me enough for my exceptional videos, tips, and constant support. You're amazing, and you've turned my life around for the positive. Charmaine is a lovely lady. Guess what? I got this from Charmaine. Only 2 weeks or so after she went through this process, she said, Sherry, I took the risk of accepting a part-time position in Sydney with a great company providing lots of future opportunities. She said, a first for me ever was to decline an interview. So they were still ringing her, inviting her to interviews, and she had to decline interviews. Can you imagine how great that felt? Saying, I'm sorry, I'm taken. Like, seriously. So Charmaine says she can't thank me enough for awakening the courage and belief in herself again. She'd lost a lot of self-esteem along the way, Charmaine did. And this really, really boosted her. I'm so happy for her. Look at this, Melissa. She said, so happy with my new resume. I've been applying for about 3 months. This is before she met me. She'd been applying for jobs for 3 months, and she estimated 30 jobs she applied for, and she only got 1 job interview out of 30 jobs. That's just shocking. She said now she's done my training. She's applied for 8 jobs in the last 2 weeks, and she's got 2 job interviews. Melissa applied for 8 jobs in 2 weeks and got 2 job interviews. How cool is that? Now she had to get in there and do that job interview training. So guess what, guys? Look what else I got from Melissa. She got a new job about a month after using her new resume and her interview techniques. She said she's landed a job with better hours, more money, and closer to home. She starts on the 27th of March. Thank you so much, Sherry, for all your help. I have this information now for life, and I can help my kids as well. How cool is that? Pretty cool. Look at this. I got this from a lovely lady by the name of Linda. She only came onto the webinar, when was the 15th? The 15th of March, whenever that was. And look what she did. The Thursday before the 15th, I should say. She said, hi, Sherry, loving my new resume. I got the job application done for that job, and the next morning she got an email to say that she was being reviewed. So she got a reply from her job that she applied for. She said, yay, at last I have it. And she said, now I'm busy getting through the rest of my training, and I need to get that interview part done because I am going to be getting an interview. So look how motivated and excited she was. She said, thank you so much again for your wonderful program. I have at least 4 people interested in doing the next webinar. As a matter of fact, there may be some of Linda's friends on here right now. Not once until now have I enjoyed doing a resume. How cool is that? Watch this space, she says. And then she says, P.S. I am still blown away at how easy you have made my job hunting. I just wasted 6 months doing really bad job applications. She said, I wish I would have found you earlier. Anyway, I'm glad she found me. But look at this. Look what I got. The next day I got this. Hi, Sherry, I got the job interview. Linda had the job interview. So she was frantically doing the training. So I don't think she's heard back yet. So we're sitting on the edge of our seats to find out how she went. So that can happen to you too. Linda just came on here on the webinar just like you did tonight, guys. I want to ask you guys a question. You've probably been on these kind of webinars. You get all excited, you get all fired up. You probably say, you know, what happens for most of you the next day is nothing. And that makes me really sad because I just showed you the system that I'm using to help people get invited to job interviews. And it works. It's as simple as that. I don't want you to go back tomorrow and do nothing. So the reason that you do that is because old habits are hard to break. And I don't want you to go back and keep applying with an application that's not working for you. So you need to change it. Don't go back and stay with what you got if it's not working. Break those old habits. Learn this new system. 2 kinds of people get on here. The first one is all nervous and shy. I don't think we've got any nervous people on here tonight. We've all been in that chat box. They all say, oh man, this was cool. She was a great chick. I like that bit when they say she was a great chick. So I like the word chick. They know that it makes sense. They know they want to do it, but they actually do nothing. And that frustrates me. The second person sees that they can do it. This is amazing. This makes sense. We can do this, and I will make these changes. Let's do it. I want Sherry's help, and we'll get this done. I like the people like us. They get on here, they hear it, boom, they want to produce, and they get results. Simple as that. So hopefully you're the person on the right, not on the left. So Thank you. I can see some purchases have come through there, and I'm very, very exciting. I'm very, very excited to see you all, and thank you for joining Work for Life. Woohoo! You guys right now can say goodbye. Goodbye to having to work out all this stuff on your own because you got me. Goodbye because you bought Work for Life. You can say goodbye forever to be what's been stopping you. Interviews are coming your way, my friends. Work for Life is to jumpstart and take off in your career, and I'm so happy to have you on board. Choice number one, go and invest, and within what? Days from now, you got to do the work. So get in there, do the work, and within days from now, you can be applying like a pro. Or you can end this webinar, go to bed. Don't end it yet. I've got to give out my freebie yet. Go to bed, wake up tomorrow and do nothing. Do exactly the same thing as you did today. It's up to you. We've all got choices. So guys, there's a recap on the deal. Look at it. Resume, cover letter, professional development plan, job interview, the job interview wow factor, handling rejection, mindset, all the templates, the lifetime access to the Facebook group, priceless, the perfect match scan from your resume against a job ad, ATS, what do I call it? Scan that matches up to see whether you're ATS friendly. The summary room, that thing's gold. And of course the guarantee. Man, oh man, nearly $800 worth. That is just crazy. And tonight, that's all yours. You get in there, you get all that work done, and you start moving forward. This simply works for everybody. So Work for Life puts you in the driver's seat of your career, and that's where you need to be. So guys, this webinar is getting close to end. I am going to stay and do some questions. So hang on a second, that chat box. I'm going to come to that in a minute, and I'm going to do some questions. So please start feeling free. Type your questions in there now while I talk about this, and we'll stay on at the end, and I'm happy to answer all those questions. So for those of you who stuck around tonight, here's how to get my action words. We've actually taken a screenshot now, right now, of everybody that's still on here right at this moment. Okay, so if you're still on here right now, we've just taken a screenshot of who you are. And what we're going to do is, in the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to email you those action words, okay? So you can download them. Now, don't forget, these aren't keywords. These are action words. Keywords you can find in the job ad. These action words help you build strong sentences. So you can use these words to help you structure sentences. Now, when I do this, because there's a lot of people still on here, when I do this, I do a bulk email, right? So to everyone that's still on there now. So sometimes when I do bulk emails, it ends up in people's spam or junk mail. So give me 60 minutes or so. And honestly, after that, you can go into your spam and junk if you haven't got it then, and I'll guarantee you it'll be in there, okay? So that's where you'll find it if you can't find it in your normal inbox, okay? So wait for that, because that's coming out to you. So Work for Life membership, guys, last chance tonight. So we'll put this deal up one more time, and for $297. So I am going to stay on here. I am going to answer all these questions for you now. So I'm happy to answer some. So let's get into that chat box. So what I'd like to say is to everyone, thank you for coming on to the webinar tonight. Don't forget to get go in this chat box and type some questions. If you've got personal questions about where you're struggling, I'm happy to answer personal ones too. So industry ones and things like that. So the other thing I want to say to you is, if you enjoyed my webinar tonight, can you please do me a favor? So do me a favor and jump on my ad if you see my ad and type a comment. You know, people see the ad and they're never sure whether to register for the webinar or not. So having comments from people who have been to the webinar to give people the confidence to join it helps me and helps me spread the word and help people and helps my business. So if you're able to do that for me, I would sure appreciate that. So get on there, follow my Facebook page, because I often do Facebook Lives where I give you tips as well. And I do Facebook Live videos all the time, and you can see some video tips that I do. So follow my Your Brand New Job Facebook page. get on there on my Facebook ad when you see it for the webinar and make a comment for me. Tell people whether they should come or not. Hey, do I get immediate access to the room if I purchase it on the install? You sure do. You sure do, Ron. I'm calling you Ron, but I know that's not your real name. You came in under Ron, didn't you? But that's not your name. Sherry, does your cover letter go through ATS as well as your resume? Great question, Glenda. Great question. Ron. What is your real name, Ron? Is it Ron? Oh, that's my husband's name. Is it Glenda? Oh, it's Glenda. Oh, no, you're Tanya. There's so many names. It's too confusing. No, yes, Tanya, no worries. Thank you. You do get access to the room, Tanya. Sherry, Glenda says, Sherry, does your cover letter go through the ATS as well as your resume? Yes, your applications that go into the ATS, your entire application will go in there. Glenda, if I'm not sure, I can't see the list in front of me now, but if you've purchased the program, Work for Life teaches you how to design that cover letter. And it's completely different to how you normally would design a cover letter. So we don't want you to repeat your, resume or your summary story in your cover letter. That's a big no-no. So don't repeat your resume in your cover letter, okay? So you're more than welcome, Tanya. Tanya, Ron. Tanya and Ron. No worries, Glenda. Any other questions, guys? Happy to answer some questions. Let me go back up here. You're welcome, Kat. Fantastic. Good on you, Amy. Nice work. I'm glad you joined too. Looking forward to working with you guys. Very easy to use, Judy. Judy says, is it easy to access the training course once you've got it? I'm in my 50s and not very computer savvy like the young ones. Very, very easy, Judy. All you need to be able to do is type in a Word document, basically. All the templates there for you. Yes, Leanne, I can see that. I'll let you know, Leanne, whether you're in that first 20. I'll shoot you an email. Fantastic, guys. Looking forward to it. All right. Tegan says, do you keep the wife off your back while you're looking for a job? Malcolm. Malcolm, you will be bouncing off the walls once you've done this, and absolutely. You'll be going for job interviews and your wife will be super duper proud of you. Tegan says, thank you. Appreciate the tips and advice. You're more than welcome, Tegan. Amy says, I'm a copywriter. Do you think I'll be able to sell myself right? But no. Funny that, Amy, that is really funny because I actually spoke to a man today who is a copywriter, and he said exactly the same thing. He said, unbelievable how difficult it is that is his profession, and yet he can't pull his resume together. It's so different when it's about himself. He said exactly the same thing. How do you get past the gatekeeper and get your info to the decision maker? Leanne says, how do you get past the gatekeeper and get your info to the decision maker? Oh, I'm a bit stuck now, Leanne. Can you elaborate on that question? Who's the gatekeeper? Is that the secretary? Is that the secretary you're meaning? So you can get your info to the decision maker. Ah, the secretary. Well, unfortunately, sometimes it depends. If it's a company using an ATS system, I can tell you now the decision maker won't go through that ATS system. That's why they hire staff and they rely on staff to do that. So, Amy, I'll let you know. I'll send an email out. Amy says, how do we know if we're in the first 20? I will send an email out to the people that made it into the first 20. So you'll receive an email later on this evening. Nice one, Judy. Judy said she's bought it products. Fingers crossed from here. I'll be here to help you, Judy. You'll be fine. Joan says, should we keep non-job related achievements on the resume? Non-job related achievements. So something personal achievements or work achievements. Joan, just elaborate so I can help you with that. Thanks. Kat says, thanks again. So wish all my job seekers could meet you. Kat, I do too. And if you can work out a way that I can talk to your job seekers through your business, you contact me, my friend, and I'll help you. So that's no problem. You talk to your people and I'll talk to my people, and together we'll work it out. Good on you, Amy. Fantastic. Welcome aboard. Leanne says, I missed your answer. You answer this, but do you put photos on your resume? No, Leanne, no photos. Please, no photos. Definitely no photos on your resume. That's old school, Leanne. We don't want anybody to discriminate against you. So people will discriminate against you, even if it's not out loud. They might do it in their heads, you know. Oh, Amy says, haha, I put photos. Oh, no. Oh, Amy, thank goodness that you've jumped on board for Work for Life. I'll help you. All good. So definitely no photos, Leanne. What about age? Kat, never, never. Some feel they need to put their age on. Never, ever reveal your age on your resume. Never. I don't care whether you're in your 20s or whether you're in your 30s or whether you're 18 and you've just left school. I'm on the brand new job and can't move from there. You're stuck in there, Tanya. So where are you? You in the members area to get the login? Are you in the members area to get the login? Tanya? Do you type your referee details on the resume, or do you type referees available on request? Mandy, depends on the level of the job you're going for, number one, and it also depends on whether you're still in a job now. So if you're in a job and you don't want them to let your boss know that you're applying for a job, so if you're in a, you can say referees available on request, right? But if there's no particular reason why that you would want to write that, definitely list your referees. Also read the job ad details, because some of the job ads actually say must list 3 referees or something along those lines. When I'm applying for customer service jobs, do I have to showcase my achievements in elocution competition? No, definitely not, Joan. Not necessary. Not necessary. But we could use some of the wording from your elocution experience in the summary story or in a professional achievement story. You'll see that, Joan. That will make sense to you when you do the training. You'll see exactly where you can place that. Judy, Amy says, is it advisable to say I'm a mum? This chat box keeps moving on me, guys. I'm just looking up. I'm a mum keen to go back to the workforce. Is it advisable to say that, Amy? No, not as the way that you've written it. I'm a mum keen to go back to the workforce. No, but we could word it in right now I'm looking for new challenges in a part-time job and returning to the workforce, or something like that. Was just off the top of my head, and returning to part-time work. We don't have to say I'm a mum, okay? The returning to the workforce is fine. The I'm a mum shouldn't be spelt out, because if you think about it like this, someone could see that and go, oh, this lady's got children, and they could discriminate immediately by not even inviting you in for a job interview if they don't want someone that they think might take time off work all the time because of a sick child. So they just put you in the too hard basket straight away. So we don't want to tell them that. We don't want to spell that out. We want them to invite you to the job interview. We want them to meet you, get to know you, see what amazing skills you've got, and then make that decision. Judy says, how far back should I go in the work history in a resume? Judy, I've got to sing it now. Judy. Sorry, I had to do that. I usually start at 87. No, 2000. Definitely no further back than 2000. Judy? So I know that you say you stayed somewhere for 25 years. So I usually start at 87 where I stayed for 25 years. I need a calculator. 87 plus 25 was, so what year did you finish it? 87 plus 25, sorry, my head's not working, is 2012. So yes, you can list that job. So that's a tricky one because we need, if you need it for this, for the type of, is it the same industry that you're going to? So if you're applying for jobs and these skills will really help you get that job, then we'd have to structure that. So if you got the program, Judy, you'll learn exactly what I mean and where we do a prior work history section. Leanne says, I'm looking forward to the summary stories. I find it so hard to write. Yes, I went to a page to create my login, made a password and you were in. Got an email with my login as well. Nice work. Nice. So, Tanya, maybe other people were all on it at the same moment. Try it again and see if you can get in. For some reason, everyone may have been on it all at the same particular moment. Looks like everyone's been jumping in there. Amy says, so helpful, thank you. You're more than welcome, Amy. You're more than welcome. No worries, Judy. 2000, yeah, thanks. You did the maths for me. Thank you. I couldn't talk and add up as well. Joan says, can I use my preferred name? Absolutely. No need for birth certificate names, my friends. Preferred name only. I don't know why people seem to think that we have to put our birth certificate names and our middle names and all this on a resume. They're offering the job to you, so just use your name. So it's all about you, definitely. No, from legal to medical reception. So legal to medical reception. So yes, we would. I see what you're saying. So your legal industry to the medical industry. I would look at how many more jobs you've got to fill in that section and list it as a prior work history. Perhaps you could elaborate on it with a small little paragraph underneath it. You'll see that, Judy, where to place that in the training. Perfect, guys. Nice work. Any more questions? Happy to answer them. So helpful. Thank you. You're more than welcome, Amy. Good luck. I'm looking forward to the summary stories. I read that one. I'm just so concerned that this scroll was going too fast. Thanks, Joan. It was a great session. Thank you for joining me here. I've really, really enjoyed meeting everyone tonight. You're more than welcome. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, my treasure. All right. Kat, if you're still on there, so see what you can do with those job seekers and we can work something out to help you. That would be fantastic. Get your boss to come on to the webinar. Tell your boss to come onto the webinar, or you are the boss. Which one? Guys, I'm just going to paste that link in that chat box one more time. Hey, Jeff. Oh, your first webinar ever, Jeff. Nice. Pretty damn cool platform, isn't it? It's amazing, this technology today, and easy to use. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Jump on my Facebook page. And tell other people that it's really cool to join the webinar. You're starting on your resume right now, Leanne. Woohoo. Don't get get in there and get it done, but don't stay up too late. You might need to have some rest and be fresh and clear. But good on you. Get in there, girl. I'll check all the Facebook stuff soon, and I'll let you into the Facebook group real soon, and I'll send out those emails regarding the first 20. So thanks. I'm excited too, Leanne. Well done. Okay, guys, if there's no more questions, I'm going to wind it up. So we're just getting ready to wind it up. So please, please jump in and ask me any more questions while we've still got some time, because I'm happy to help. Thanks, Amy. Nice one, Kat. Good luck. Oh, Leanne, you're so funny. She's so excited. She's getting in there right now. Late nights coming your way. You're more than welcome, Leanne. I'm looking forward to working with you. You sound awesome. All good, guys. Lots of coffee for you tonight, Leanne. Marlene, I am preparing my resume for a skill validation process. Do these tips work for that as well? I'm preparing my resume for a skill validation process. Absolutely, they will help. Absolutely. Definitely, Marlene. A skill validation process. That sounds exciting. So yes, I show you how to list your skills, how to explain your areas of expertise as far as your skills are concerned, all that sort of thing. So there's plenty of help in there for that. Nice work, guys. Well, I am going to sign off shortly. So we've got the last minute countdown on the clock, and then I think I better need to go and rest my voice after tonight. You're welcome, Marlene. It's a pleasure. Great tips. They certainly are. Get on my Facebook page for me and tell everyone. Get on that webinar. You'll learn heaps of really cool things. Fantastic, guys. So for all of you that are there, thank you very much. Goodbye, good luck. And for those that have purchased Work for Life, I'm super excited and can't wait to work with you. So you'll get some emails from me shortly. Thanks, guys. Good night. Bye, Jane.